So here we are. It's time to do our first impressions video of the Google Pixel 8 Pro. This is 2023's flagship smartphone from Google, which has a few refinements and improvements from the previous smartphone, the Google Pixel 7 Pro, and we're here to give you a quick overview of the specs and our first impressions. So both the Chief Aperture Officer here at Tech Travel Geeks, our friend Lukasz, and I purchased Google Pixel 8 Pros to review and compare to other smartphones on the market. The most important feature for us is the cameras, but it's not just the cameras that have improved this year. So let's take a quick look at the specs. So the Google Pixel 8 Pro has a large 6.7-inch display. It is an OLED display with high refresh rate and super bright potential settings. They say up to 2400 nits, which is not hair lice. To you and me, that means that it's usable even in bright sunlight, which would be particularly useful if you're traveling to somewhere warm and sunny, not like Scotland in winter. That display is capable of refreshing from 1 Hz if needed and in a supported app, all the way up to 120 Hz. So you get a buttery smooth experience when you need it, or a reasonable experience when you want to save battery, or a static page if that's what you need for reading. The Pixel 8 Pro's display, in my experience, is very nice. It's very bright, it has punchy colors, and is also something you can customize in the settings to have a vivid color setting, a natural color setting, or whatever you please in between. That display on the Google Pixel 8 Pro is also home to a selfie camera, in this case a 10.5 megapixel one. That 10.5 megapixel selfie camera takes really good pictures in low light, as well as in good lighting conditions, but more importantly has something called autofocus. So you can tap to focus on your subject, in this case most likely a face, rather than have it focus on the background by accident. It really does handle taking selfies really well. Speaking of cameras, the Google Pixel 8 Pro has a new flagship camera setup on the back, which is even better than the standard Google Pixel 8. All three main cameras are high-resolution ones. The main one is a 50 megapixel camera with optical image stabilization. It takes very good pictures in most situations, even low light, and makes for even better astrophotography pictures than in previous Google Pixel smartphones. I've found this among the best camera phones to take quick snapshots. With very little effort you can take good pictures, even of black cats, which are the ultimate challenge for a camera smartphone. And as well as the main camera on the Google Pixel 8 Pro, there's a 48 megapixel ultrawide camera, which is also capable of taking really impressive pictures. It has phase detection autofocus on that as well, and there's very little lens aberration on the edges of the picture, which is usually something you do get with ultrawide camera lenses. And there is also an additional 48 megapixel sensor and camera that is dedicated to telephoto shots. And that camera is set up for 5 times optical zoom. That means that you can zoom in on things up to 5 times and have proper 5 times zoom. But with Google's computational photography, it also means that the data from your telephoto lens as well as your main lens can be put together for 10 times lossless zoom, which is really impressive. Now, this isn't the first time we've seen this sort of setup from a smartphone maker. See our previous videos from phones such as the Honor Magic 5 Pro and others. Computational photography is the way forward, and even Apple are now catching up with the Apple iPhone 15 Pro Max. So we will be doing a side-by-side comparison between these smartphones, especially focusing on cameras, in a future video. If you don't already, please do subscribe to the Tech Travel Geeks here on YouTube. We cover consumer electronics, gadgets, accessories, and anything else we think makes the travel experience better. But cameras are a key feature of the Google Pixel line of smartphones. They really do put computational photography and decent hardware together to make effortless, good photography. That's one of the reasons I've been buying Pixel smartphones since the original Google Pixel. If you'd also like to check out the video performance, our Chief Aperture Officer, Lukash, has already published a video of our first impressions of the Google Pixel 8 Pro as a video and photograph machine. They're called cameras, apparently. Cameras are placed in that lovely metal visor on the back, and the overall body of the Google Pixel 8 Pro is a glass and metal sandwich. You have a matte finish glass back, as well as the usual tempered glass front, and a nice metal frame around the smartphone. Ergonomically, the Google Pixel 8 Pro is nicely rounded, fits well in my palm, and as a naked smartphone is lovely to use. Obviously, there are lots of different cases available for the Google Pixel 8 Pro. I will be getting a screen protector put on, but currently the one I'm using is the 2D Merge Grip case, which we've already done a video of here on the Tech Travel Geeks YouTube channel, so check out that video. We'll link to it in the description. Now, in terms of overall performance, I've had no issues whatsoever with the Google Pixel 8 Pro. It does get slightly warm when doing some pretty intensive things like video editing or setting up multiple apps at once, but apart from that, I've noticed no slowdowns, stutters, or other issues. The user interface is what you've come to expect of Google Pixel smartphones. It's simple, straightforward, and not too full of extra bells and whistles. If you want to add those through third-party apps, you can do so. But the Pixel experience is beautifully simple and just works. One of the buzzwords in the tech industry over the last few months and years has been AI, or artificial intelligence. It's not just three if statements in a trench coat, even though often it actually is. AI is supposed to be the way forward, and the fact that phone chips now have multiple tensor units or artificial intelligence nodes within their processors is an indicator that's the way forward. We've been seeing this on Huawei smartphones for years. Remember when there used to be NPUs in Huawei Kirin chipsets? Well, now we're a few years later, it's become commonplace in devices such as the Google Pixel devices with Tensor chips. AI is a very strong buzzword, and Google do a lot of that on the Pixel 8 Pro. There's a lot of talk about how AI improves battery life, thermal management, as well as actually doing computational photography and enabling editing of the pictures after you've taken the shots. We haven't spent long enough to really pass judgment on that, but if past years' improvements on AI and things such as Magic Eraser and editing after the fact on photographs are anything to go by, we will be impressed. But as I said, it's still too early to say. I have enjoyed using the Pixel 8 Pro to take low light shots of my cats and edit them to be much more social media worthy. Check out my Instagram as well as the samples our Chief Aperture Officer has put into this video. The fingerprint scanner in the Google Pixel 8 Pro works as expected. It is a standard in-screen display one. I've noticed little or no difference to the one in the Google Pixel 7 Pro. And if you need to unlock your phone and have a clear view of your face, the selfie camera in the Google Pixel 8 Pro is now even more secure than previous version of Google Pixel smartphones. You can use it for secure unlocking banking apps and other applications, thanks to not just the improved camera, but also improved software to handle images of people being created for nefarious use. The Google Pixel 8 Pro, unlike the standard Google Pixel 8, features a thermometer, a visual thermometer, which is something quite bizarre. It's not officially capable of measuring the temperature of people, but it can measure things such as beverages, fruit and veg,
matte metal, shiny metal, plastic and rubber, fabric, wood, walls and windows.
What I'm particularly interested in is cast iron. Okay, so whilst it's a gimmick, it is something definitely different that the Google Pixel 8 Pro has. Right, so this was just a quick walkthrough of the main specs and our initial thoughts of the Google Pixel 8 Pro. For me personally, great first impressions. I will be living with the Google Pixel 8 Pro alongside the iPhone 15 Pro Max for the next 12 months, as well as other smartphones in between. Keep an eye on the Tech Travel Geeks YouTube channel for comparisons, more in-depth views and reviews of the smartphone, and more content we'll be creating around consumer electronics, gadgets, accessories, and anything we think makes the travel experience better. Thanks for watching if you made it this far, and we'll see you in the next one.